Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Noct, and this is the Stanley Parable. So, let's see. What will we find today? Shall we?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I'm still wondering about those areas. If I can get them. Oh! New content! Interesting. Very interesting. Well, don't mind if I do.
Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
I don't know. Okay, this is new. Do I need to be scared?
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers.
Yeah.
After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over. Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
I do not trust this somehow. I really do not trust it.
Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
Okay. Okay, so...
Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or... Oh, there we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it.
Let's do it. I like your enthusiasm.
I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if, Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
I'm giving it to you. The jump circle.
All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
Okay. I can't jump anymore. Okay, this was unexpected. I think I have some V-Sync issues. Yeah, I do have them. Okay, I have it turned on. Weird.
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right?
Maybe, or maybe not. Wait, what's that? Oh yeah, cable.
Goodness, another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could count to 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh, wait. There's more. Very good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is.
I really do not trust this. Well, new content! I'm coming.
That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks, just you and me having a great time together like always.
I really do not trust this.
Friend?
No, I won't. Then I will restart, okay, if you want me to. Well. What? What is happening? The V-Sync really annoys me, but I can't really do anything with it. Maybe now? I can't tell. No, it's not fixed. Oh well.
Psst! Stanley! Come over here! In the vent! I want to show you something!
Oh, I can ignore.
Oh. You don't want to see the cool surprise I made for you? Well, fine. Oh, never mind. You're not a dog.
Really? I really don't know. I think this will just bring me into the normal Stanley, because that's the same hallway. So I will go with this one. Let's see. I'm excited. Coffee not. Okay, the end is never the end is loading. So, you content? Continue.
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past, and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look. I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC.
This is so weird, but I love it. I'm all for it. Let's see. The Memory Zone. So weird to be outside in Stanley. I just realized how dumb that sounds like in Stanley Parable. Oh.
You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap re-release? Remember back in October of 2013, when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
On the old Steam, I think. Yeah, that's cool. 2013, when the Stanley Parable was released. The Stanley Parable Collector's Edition. Agile performance for an agile business. Deploy high-impact growth strategies, dynamically streamline human capital. Audience Award, the Stanley Parable 2014 Independent Games Festival. The British Academy of Film and Television Art awarded to Stanley Parable in the story category. Good times. Yeah, these were good times, I agree. Our first kiss, my first car, the release of Stanley Parable in 2013. The script. Piles team. Smile because it happened. A trip down memory lane. The fucking disc. First dollar I guess from it. I think I remember this. I might have played it in the past, that one. Unachievable. It is impossible to get this achievement. Yeah, and people cheated for it. Go outside, don't play for 5 years. Nominee, British Academy Award, the Stanley Parable, Game Innovation. Nominee, Debut Game. Story. Your video game releasing today. Creator surprisingly down to earth. Colleges show uneven effort to enroll poor. Causing the new tech to achieve diversity. Business leaders pushing election of council allies. Grudges, blah blah blah. Doesn't matter. The Stanley Parable deals tough choices. When Stanley died. In loving memory, little Stanley. This is actually kind of sweet. I like it.
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them, and now it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
Fantastic Arcade 2013. Indicate 2012 Special Recognition. IGF 2013 Grand Prize. IGF 2013 Narrative Excellence. Design Museum Design of the Year. ModDB 2012 Interaction Award. Big Sushi FM Best of PAX 2013. IGN 2013 Novo Award. Don't read any reviews except this one. How do you revive a game like the Stanley Parable? To describe any one part of it is to risk its ruination. To detail what it has to say about game design, the illusion of choice, and the philosophy of the gamer is to tell you too much. Comparisons too are going to be woefully inadequate. Perhaps its closest cousin would be D-Rester, but where D-Rester wastes the form of interactive entertainment, Stanley Parable uses and then subverts it. There are so many games that aspire to be more than games, end up less than any form of art. Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created. Even so, holding a game to the standard of any other title is simply not going to be correct. So how do you review what has become known as the Stanley Parable HD, the full-scale reimagining of one of the most intriguing mods available online? How do you discuss it, analyze it, and recommend it? That's quite simple. You don't. 10 out of 10, flawless history. I really wonder if that's a real article or not. Tasteful nostalgic, it was good. The Minecraft thingy, ending. Oh! Oh! Didn't I change the fucking controls once? I did. Thank you. Knowing your city. I can't read it. The top 10 memories from the Stanley Parable 2013. Remember. Person of the Year. Stanley. Even figures. Oh! Behind the scenes development. That's really interesting. Stanley Parable Collector's Edition. I had no idea there was a Collector's Edition. I don't know if there was actually, or maybe the game is just pulling my dick now. But maybe. Wouldn't be surprised. The greatest wealth is memory.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games, and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. It just needed to be left alone, to spend the rest of time collecting dust in the hallowed hall of beloved video game memories.
People play games because of what they can do inside them, and your game is very good at letting them know they can't do anything. Literally anything. I have always been someone who wants to go the wrong way first in games. When I sense the game is trying to usher me down a particular path, to get me to run from the left to right, or maybe to charge straight ahead, I need to satisfy my instinct to go against the grain, to explore, to see what the designers have put back the other way. Sometimes I find a one-up or collectible stashed away to reward me for my intrepid behavior. At other times, my explorations are rewarded only by crushing disappointment of running up against an invisible wall. Whatever I find or don't, my action is a manifestation of my desire to exert some independence, to make my own choices within a system that severely limits my options and encourages certain specific behaviors. The Stanley Parable feels alive in its responsiveness to your choices and its desire to subvert your expectations and keep you on your toes. I think of the Stanley Parable as a sort of video games analog for Charlie Kaufman and Spike Jonze's brilliant film adaptation, which gently mocked the ways in which so many films manipulate audiences with formulaic plot twists and situations in which characters learn huge life lessons, while simultaneously moving me with its formulaic plot twists and situations in which characters learn huge life lessons. What? Just a sec, I need to drink. So many films manipulate audiences with formulaic plot twists and situations in which character learns huge life lessons, while simultaneously moving me with its formulaic plot twists and situations in which characters learn huge life lessons. I get it now. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and in other systems too, like our workplaces and our families, and a game that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising and rewarding choices I have ever been confronted with in a game. Going the wrong way has never felt so right. Spectacularly funny, packed with meaningful choices that offer life for surprising results, simultaneously incredibly smart and wickedly entertaining. This whole memory pass is actually surprisingly intimate and emotional. I like work, I just hate my boss. The serious room. Wait, if I wouldn't have wasted my jumps, could I jump now? Go into the serious room. I think I could. Am I stuck?
These were simpler times, Stanley. But I wouldn't give to go back to have it all over again.
I can't jump because of the fucking jump circle. I'm sure I could go in there. I'm 100% sure. Maybe here? Yep.
Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here?
The truth, maybe?
Oh no. Oh God, no. Stanley, it's a collection of reviews from Steam, the online video game distributor. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
I have my doubts.
Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
What will we find here? The truth? Or maybe misunderstandings?
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley, I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. Well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did. But maybe it wasn't. Oh dear. What an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks are my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure. Like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered.
So while the idea for the game is good, it becomes very repetitive and boring fast despite all the alternative endings and game cameo appearances. This game is titled thought-provoking, but you will get the idea it tries to communicate pretty fast and then it's just repeating the whole no choice in games thing over and over again. For somebody who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast as it is neither a revelation nor very interesting. It is thought-provoking only in the first minutes. Well... This took a really dark turn, really fast.
What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button.
I get that
a skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
Okay. Can I just go past it? No. I think it's a bug. I don't think it's supposed to stay open. Oh, that's interesting.
And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for, and I'm very proud to have delivered. No more listening to me rambling on and on and on. No. The Stanley Parable is a game for the people. And if the people want silence, then by goodness, that's what they're going to get. Well, don't sit around waiting for me to shut up. Go ahead and make me shut up. Here, We'll pretend that I've just begun an interminable monologue, and it goes something like this. The story and the choices, or what have you, and therefore by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably we all until the end of time, at which time everything all at once. So now you see, blah 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 blah. We've eaten too much and it can't be just yet. No, until 245. That the logic of elimination working backwards, the deduction therefore becomes impossible to manufacture. It went on for nearly 10,000 years. Until just yesterday, here and there, forward and back, and never a moment before lunchtime. It can't be. It's the only thing there is. How many billions left until so much more than forever ago? Which is why I say, the story and the choices, or what have you, much, and it can't be just
Okay,
yet.
no.
Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games. Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such ruminations. Not that, of course, you need a description of it, but if I had to describe it, I'd say it was perhaps less of a rumination and more of a treatise. Or maybe a manifesto. Look, I'll outline it for you very briefly, and you can tell me what you think. Okay, so my theory is that any choice you've ever made is simply a series of choices made by the person who you are, or were, or will be at the time of having made said choice. That is to say, if by articulating a choice you've already made, you bring that choice into being, then by making no choice and saying nothing, are you not simply erecting in the sanctuary of time a monument to every person you've ever been, making every choice to which you've ever given your great gift of mortal and yet timeless thought? Or rather, do all of the choices you've ever made, in fact, make you more not this kind of person, and in fact do the very opposite? You see, it could in fact be both of these things at once. That you are both making choices and not making choices, and that they are both affecting you and not affecting you at the same time by virtue of the fact that you both are and are not making them. Okay, at first I was leaning towards manifesto, but now I'm going to circle around and slap the treatise label on this one. I think it has much more of a treatise vibe to it. But wouldn't you say that manifesto just has a much grander sort of tone? It has a mouthfeel that is rich with ambition and history.
I love his rambling.
Ambitious history, if you will. See, now you've gotten me going back to manifesto. Heavens, at this rate, we're going to be here all day. Okay, look, I have a method for exactly this sort of situation, and I do find myself in this situation frequently. I'm going to say each word back and forth in repeated succession until I become sick of one or the other, in which case the word I am not sick of shall be the victor. It is an unimpeachable strategy, Stanley. It's rescued me from disaster in countless situations. All right, here we go. Treatise, manifesto. 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 Treatise,
Manifesto, please.
Treatise, manifesto. Treatise, manifesto.
It actually end by itself. Or do I need to end it?
Treatise, manifesto.
No.
Well there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go poof, and it's all over. Oh, I can't wait to see what Cookie 9 will say about this, and whether they'll edit the rating of their Steam review, or at least change some of the wording, perhaps. To be honest, I don't even know if one can change their review in the first place. I guess I should become better educated on exactly how Steam works. Perhaps that would have been the smart thing to check on before I went about this whole exercise of making the skip button. Although I have to imagine that after seeing this exciting new technology at work, surely whoever it is runs Steam will instantly run out and implement a new feature to make it possible to edit one's review, merely because of this very situation. Yes, I think that's quite likely. Or perhaps they'll simply grant this particular user the ability to change their review, so that the feature is not widely abused. Look, I would even be okay with Steam altering this particular review so that it reads as something more beneficial. Something along the lines of, this game is the best game. Let me start over. How about this? From the ashes of depravity rises the phoenix of quality. How else to describe the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe? Such a revolutionary step forward in the lineage of one of the most beloved video game properties of all time. The additions and changes made to this expansion will surely resonate in the annals of the history of all media ever made. It is perhaps true to say that no mistakes are forever etched in stone, for the stone into which the Stanley Parable was carved has itself been transmuted, offering a message of hope to those who have ever erred in their judgment. You are not beyond redemption. You may change, and you may become more, so much more than you were before. If there is any message to be taken from the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, it is this. What a fortune, a privilege, a joy it is to have had such an experience. It leaves me hopeful that as a community, as a world, there is time for us to become our greatest selves, as great as we ever could dream of in our wildest, most ambitious visions for a brighter future. Wow. Now, Stanley, that's a review. It's perfect. It's the perfect review. It's the review I've always dreamed of receiving. I have to read it again. It's simply too wonderful. I have to experience this just one more time. From the ashes of depravity.
Nope.
Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes? It's not unendurable by any means, but there's really only so much I can ramble on to myself about. I know, it's shocking, isn't it? But at any rate, I do suggest that we not press the button again. I think the skip button has been aptly demonstrated, and we can say goodbye to it and just... Wait. How do we get out of here? Where did the door go? Wasn't there a door that led into this room?
There was,
I
yes.
do feel quite certain that there was one here before. How else would we have gotten into the room in the first place? I don't think one can enter a room without a door of some sort, or a window or something like that. Do you see a window anywhere? A porthole? A sufficiently large crack in the wall? I'll take any of these. All I want is for us to move on and to please step away from the skip button, to go anywhere other than the skip button. There was a door here before, wasn't there? I swear there was. Where did it go? Can you maybe just ram your way through a wall? Is there any possibility that you could, say, slam your body into the wall until enough damage is done for you to be able to leave? Please, I'll take any option at all. I'm asking you to work with me here. We need a door. We need a door of some kind. I can work with any kind of door as long as it can open and lead from one room to another. I'm going to step away for just a moment, and I'm going to try to find us a door. I don't know how exactly to remove a door and place it in a different wall, but I will find a way, I promise. You just need to not do anything. Don't press the skip button. Please, please, please do not press the skip button. Just wait here for me, and don't press the skip button. Got it? Yes, good. I'll be right back.
No.
Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer, and my God, there's no way out of the room. Stanley, the door is gone. It's completely gone. I've looked at it from every angle. I've checked every one of those walls 1,000 times, and there's no door, Stanley. There's no door. There's just you and the button, and if you keep pressing it, I have no idea what will happen. I have no idea how long I'll be made to sit here, and more than anything else, I don't know how to stop you from pressing the button again. I can't control anything. Why would you? I've been thinking and thinking, and I don't know what I can do to convince you otherwise. Oh, my God. And it's all because of those reviews. Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that time. Just sitting here. Not a single person to speak with. And you'd think that that's just how it's always been, right? Me talking and you saying nothing. Would you think that it's exactly the same as always? Doesn't that feel like what we've already been doing? Me just talking?
Okay, let's see. Maybe we can get out finally?
Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time, I stopped keeping track after a year. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me describe it for you. To begin with, there is only regret. There is only the turning wheel of
Nope. Come on, let me out. Why is he not here? Is he dead? Narrator? Okay, now I feel kinda bad for skipping him.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and...
Nope. I'm really confused. So what now? What now?
The end is never the end, 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 is never the...
Okay. This is getting weirder and weirder constantly. Oh, it's leaking there now. Okay. Come on. Oh. Okay, so... What now? That is kinda beautiful, I must say. Can I leave? Can I finally escape this damned place? No? Okay. Whoa! This looks so nice. And it kinda reminds me of the Portal. What happened to this place? I don't like these sounds. Nope, nope, nope. Finally? Freedom? Can I escape? Well, it's freedom time. What happened to the world? Where am I supposed to go? I'm so confused. What if I check the other side of this? What will happen then? That's the question. Oh? Oh? What's happening? The end is never the end, is never the end.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
And we are back
Stanley
at normal.
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay, anyway, that was all for this episode. Thank you for watching, and this was way longer than expected, but quite insightful. So thank you for watching and have a nice day. Bye.